Hey everybody, what is it up? It is I, Link, coming at you with some standard definition Ashe on some standard definition Summoner's Rift on the other side. This is kind of like the parallel universe video from yesterday's. Same Ashe though, but different model, different Summoner's Rift, different team. Anyway, we have a Fiora in my lane, and our Hecarim is the jungle. Our Katarina is the mid, and our top is a Cho'Gath. Anyway, in this game, it's pretty much like the last game, except I do pick up my items a little bit differently, and I have much more problems early game because the person I'm laning against does have a support, and I do not like that. So we're going to speed this up because it is just waiting time. Cho'Gath asking if he's soloing bot. It's kind of funny. There are actually, if you do read the chat a couple times, a couple of them do have some funny little comments in there. Not much to really talk about right now. There, yet again, is beginning of the game. Hecarim, good jungle, getting his leash from Katarina, picking up blue buff relatively easy, but not being able to get away with too much health. I mean, he's really good at ganks, but he needs... What? That was not Ashe's voice. That was weird. It sounds different. Well, this is an older replay. I mean, I got this about a week ago, so this is pre-Varus patch. Anyway, running away using some health pots to heal myself back up, and going back in a lane. Now, this being pre-Varus was the good times, when Varus didn't dominate whatever lane he was in. Even though he can be easily shut down, he's still too strong. Irelia going under turret. Well, not really. She dashed Cho'Gath and killed him. My timing's off. I put that as 340. Anyway, Teemo coming up to try and grab us. Sitting in bush, lowering me, using his ignite. I use some health pots. Fiora uses her dash, goes after Teemo, and now goes after the Janna. Janna does make it away safely, but we managed to start farming up the lane a little bit. As we see Cho'Gath and Irelia up top yet again. Cho'Gath trying to do as much as he can. His Rapture somehow canceling there, which was quite interesting. Unless he was doing it in the bush. It's interesting. Karthus able to dominate our Katarina, but Katarina does have more sustain than he does, and can also harass him and dodge his skill shot his Q much better. Down bot, me low yet again. Janna tries to kill me. I realize it's no good and I leave. Leaving Fiora in lane with the Teemo. Although Fiora did start with a Vampiric Scepter. And yeah. If you want to know what happened up here, the Irelia dashed into the turret to kill the Cho'Gath and died. Katarina calling Karthus level 6, which is rare nowadays. I mean, I was in a game and the Ziggs in mid got level 6 and I didn't know about it. I was still staying down here kinda low on health. He just threw his ultimate and got a double kill on both of us. Now Hecarim comes in here in a matter of seconds. I start slowing down the Janna as she gets picked up by the Fiora. Fiora doing damage to Teemo. I had to die to a Teemo attack, and Hecarim ultimate's in there, terrifying Teemo, picking him up with ease. Irelia now mid against the Katarina, which is quite an interesting combo to see. Her now activating Heat Tinge Strike, going after Katarina. Katarina going in there with her ultimate, trying to do some damage. I forget how long her ultimate is and lasts. Hecarim sitting in the bush waiting, using his E to make some room, and he forces Irelia to waste her blink. Now Irelia is the mid now, I think, for the rest of the game. Xin Zhao up top going after this Cho'Gath. This Cho'Gath not able to get away after that slow. About to be knocked up by Xin Zhao, although he does knock both of them up as he quickly runs behind his turret. Now Karthus and Xin Zhao in lane. Hecarim comes up to save the day. Full health. A little low on mana, but it's Hecarim. What do you expect? Unless he has blue buff, he's pretty much useless until late game. Cho'Gath goes in there, silencing the Karthus. Hecarim goes in there, dashes Karthus against the wall. Starts doing some nice damage as Karthus pops a mana potion and starts to run. Now using his ultimate, dying to Katarina. His ultimate actually does get cancelled. Now we're going to go back down to bot lane as I actually did buy a single ward. And also they pick up Xin Zhao up top. I do pick up a single ward, a dagger so I can get my boots, and a Doran's Blade for a small amount of lifesteal and AD and health. you pretty much want to pick up about 1 or 2 of these per game. Now me getting slightly knocked up by Janna, Teemo using his move fast or move quick, trying to make a little bit of room up. I'm going to be launching volley in there because I'm sitting on a lot of mana, and there's no real reason to use any because I don't have my enchanted crystal arrow yet. Besides that, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, we have those 2 attacking here. This is boring laning phase, honestly. But we are going to continue through this as I try and explain what the process is behind most of this. We have our Fiora right here. She did pick up a BF sword, which means she did really well in lane. She still doesn't have boots, so she is slower than she should be. I mean, 325, I'm faster than her. But she has the damage she needs. Now, using her parry, thinking that she can use that against the Zephyr, when the Zephyr is stronger than that. Or, it's not stronger than that, it's magic based. That only blocks basic attacks. Johnny using her tornado, trying to hide it within minions, completely fails, but almost hits me. Now we're going to see the Xin Zhao and Irelia behind turret. Irelia dying because Hecarim locked her up under turret as Xin Zhao realizes that he's not going to make it out of here alive. Katarina just getting ever so close, realizing it's not worth it and just going back to minions. Cho'Gath up top with Karthus now gone. Going to start getting some CS. And I think this is a nice time to explain something. In the description, I made an idea for League of Legends, and I find it to be quite a good idea. And it's going to link you to a forum post where you can either comment on it, say yes, say no, if you want to implement it or not. Honestly, with the new upgrade to the graphics that is going to be soon, it's definitely worth looking at, because it has to do with wards. And what happens is, you know how you click on a ward and you can see the time? Well, imagine if you could see the time above the ward, so you can literally just see how long it's going to be till it's up, without having to click it and just leave it in your minimap. Whoa. Leave it in your minimap. Guessing this is about the same angle. Not quite sure. Anyway, Katarina not even going in bush there. Going out. Fiora catching the ground on the Teemo. Her monsooning, hitting her with the Ashe arrow, locking her up. Teemo coming back. Although Xin Zhao does come in here, so much happens. Fiora uses her ultimate, and Katarina blocks off the Xin Zhao with her Shin Pao, and we pick up a Teemo and a Xin Zhao quite easily. I am sitting on 1k gold, and I actually do stay in lane for a few, as we go top to see Hecarim going after the Karthus, which Hecarim did take a massive amount of AD loss because he did get hit by the Wall of Pain. But that's no matter, because he's already off the effects of it, and doing quite well. Looks like he's got the items for Madrids and a BF sword. He's pretty well rounded. This Irelia just up here getting all the CS she needs to continue and destroy us late game. Bot lane actually being aggressive because that Teemo doesn't want to come back, which I wouldn't blame him. He just got wrecked by the Katarina. Now, they're going to start being very aggressive because their Teemo did pick up the makings for a Zeal, and he got a couple health potions, which is to be expected because Janna cannot heal. Her Monsoon's the only thing that can heal. She's more of a damage support and a disable support than anything else. Stealing a kill, or stealing a CS from Fiora there. Not much to talk about. We're going to speed this up yet again. And we're going to watch as we just sit here and whittle them down ever so slightly. Now, I'm sitting here on lane relatively low. I do get pinged to go back, and I know Fiora can handle it herself. So I do take the liberty of going back, picking up a Zerker Greaves, waiting a second, getting a Vampiric Scepter, and another Doran's Blade, along with a Sight Ward. I pretty much right here went for Lifesteal. Lifesteal and health is all I went for, because that Teemo was going to keep taking me out of lane, and I didn't like that. So that's pretty much what I did. Karthus using his ultimate, picking up Katarina as she did stealth away. Me in mid, going after this Karthus with the Hecarim, because, hey, why not? As you can see, I was actually just healing up 20s every basic attack, which is pretty good for Ashe. I mean, normal Ashe isn't this tanky. But anyway, I'm going to be running down to bot with Hecarim, seeing a ward for some reason, going after the Teemo. The Teemo quickly drops to a barrage of damage. Or no, Hecarim drops to a barrage of damage. Now it's me versus the Teemo, getting blinded, getting CC'd. Fiora goes in. What? Fiora goes in there with her ultimate and starts destroying Teemo. Now she turns on Janna, landing a couple basics. Katarina comes in just to help, but she parries, gets ready, and grabs the double kill. Katarina going back to mid to go and help her friend, the Cho'Gath. Which, I would actually like to see how this gank went down. By gank, I mean this very unfortunate event. Katarina goes in there, throws her blade, and Shimpo's in there doing some damage to Xin Zhao. Irelia using her ultimate to do some damage to Cho'Gath. Not picking Cho'Gath up as Cho'Gath uses his ghost to get away. Now Irelia is chasing after the... Wow. Katarina. I do call an arrow in, and I completely miss. I thought she was going back to fight with the Irelia, and around here is where I was estimating the fight to happen. It's quite interesting, honestly. Yet again, we're going to speed up right around now, as I'm just going to be CSing. Katarina's going to be midding, and yeah. Cho'Gath's going to be going bot to stop the ADs from the AD carry pushing. This Cho'Gath, he didn't get a feast stacks, which was one of his major downfalls. He goes in there, tries to knock them up, keep them busy until Fiora gets here, because he knows that as soon as Fiora gets here, it's over for them. Fiora now here dashes to Teemo and does some serious damage, and then goes after the Janna and picks her up instantly. Now this Fiora is really slow right now, but she does have her dash, which is what she's been using every fight. She has an early Infinity Edge, which is quite good, a Cloth Armor, and a Vampiric Scepter. I can't remember if she goes to a Wriggles or not. I'm guessing that is. So I'm debating on when she's actually going to get her boots. She does contemplate Dragon, and I do go to help her at Dragon. But there's a Karthus, and I really want to hurt this Karthus, because he keeps trying to whittle me down in lane when it's kind of hard just to hurt someone that can do what Ashe does. Now, I'm going to actually just sit here in lane and try and keep them busy for as long as possible, hitting her with my W, slowing her down, trying to juke, hitting her with a point-blank Ashe arrow because she activated Heat 10 style and I did not want that damage. Running under turret, activating her ultimate, getting hit with the Karthus lawnmower, and just getting completely destroyed. Her flashing into the bush, Katarina finding her, going after her, using her bouncing blade so she can't heal anymore, but they do turn on Karthus, which they shouldn't have, and they should have continued to go after the Irelia, which is now probably near Janna somewhere. As Katarina goes by, she sees the Irelia and the Teemo. She quickly drops in there, uses her ultimate, and starts doing some damage to Teemo. Teemo's running away for his life. Her getting hit by a satellite. Xin Zhao now here, waiting to go and pick her up, but she gets out of there with the greatest of ease. Now let's see. We're almost at the 20-minute mark, so let's just speed this up. As we can see that the Fiora is actually returning and hopefully going to grab boots. But arrow in 40, I am pinging off my arrow time. This is wrong because of the low replay. But anyway, so we're just sitting here right now waiting to initiate this fight, and Hecarim sitting in the bush with the red buff ready to do damage. We should have been waiting for a better initiation, but Hecarim just runs in there, goes in there, Fiora ulties, gets rid of Karthus, does some damage to Xin Zhao, picking up Janna with her dash. Irelia going in there. Irelia getting hit by Fiora's basic and quickly dropped to the ground. Now, this Fiora just picked up her boots and her Wriggles, and that is pretty much GG. They fed Fi. I mean, it's just like feeding an Irelia. It's unbearable to watch. Actually, I'm sitting on 2k gold here. I pick up a BF sword and a dagger, so I can start working on my zeal. Now, I'm relatively a little more tanky than a normal Ashe would be. Fiora actually going to mid to go and help, and they instantly return. But Cho'Gath does die, or Hecarim dies to Irelia, and Cho'Gath kills Irelia. He actually used Feast on her. I was watching that during the actual gameplay. Anyway, this Xin Zhao really wants to attack the Cho'Gath, and Cho'Gath isn't going to have it. Cho'Gath, I think, is he's only on 1 stack, which is kind of bad. For Cho'Gath, he should be at 6, having his ultimate this long. So it's kind of interesting. He does go in there, slow him, and silence him, running away. Silence now up, doesn't do anything, and the Fiora comes in, ready to take her chances at the Xin Zhao. Now the Cho'Gath getting really pushy, knocking the Xin Zhao up. Fiora not able to get there as Cho'Gath grabs a feast stack that was pretty good. I'm actually just jungling right now, so there's not much to see. As we see a Teemo and Irelia protecting their precious turret, as I'm going to go mid and start to push their turret. Now, the Cho'Gath is going around, Janna sitting right there. Janna checking the bush, missing Cho'Gath by ever so much. And now there's 3 of them there, and this is the part where a small team fight happens. I do throw my arrow in there, stunning Janna, figuring that that would be enough for an initiation, but I didn't notice they were all moving forward. So it was kind of a waste of an Ashe arrow. Although we do take a mid turret, and they both return back to their turret. Although they do ping, but there is a Teemo nearby, and they realize it's a better option not to. Because Cho'Gath, pretty much all 5 of them are there. So I'm on my way walking. Now Katarina is being attacked by the Xin Zhao. She's going to try her hardest to get away. I mean, she does have a lot of health left and damage. Now the Teemo comes after her. She knows that he's there, and she's waiting for him. Because she knows that she can easily take the Teemo. Kind of baiting the Teemo out to attack her. It's quite funny. Uses her ultimate to start picking at Teemo. Teemo comes out. Shimpow's over him. Looks like she ignited him and picked him up with relatively good health. Now we have the Karthus, the Janna, and the Irelia. Me up top helping as the Cho'Gath does some damage to the Karthus, goes in there, pops his ghost, uses Feast, and does damage. Fiora pops in there, dashes to the Karthus, does some damage, uses her ultimate, completely wrecking Janna. Janna getting picked up by me. Irelia now going after Hecarim, picking up our Hecarim, and now we have Irelia running as Fiora drops on her turret. I come from the back, I use my volley to slow her, and I pick her up with a crit arrow. And by crit arrow, I mean that 3% chance that I actually had one. Now, we're actually just taking turrets at this point. There's not much to talk about for the rest of these few minutes. I do check to see if there are blues there. I was kind of short on my range. I do pick up a Warden's Mail. I sell a Doran's and pick up a Warden's. This is to help me get away from their Teemo, Irelia, and Xin Zhao, which is to be expected. Ashe needs at least a Warden's Mail on her, because it's so good for kiting away from people. It's a personal opinion, and a tanky Ashe is much better than a pure damage Ashe. So the longer she stays in fights, the more viable she becomes. Because of her volley, it does damage to everyone over time, and it also hits like a truck. Throwing my Ashe arrow in there, landing it on the Karthus, so Karthus does take a lot of damage. I'm low. They do take out our Fiora, but we pick up a Irelia in the process as Janna kills our Cho'Gath. Now their surrender vote has actually changed when we are 20 kills up, so I'm not quite sure. I do pick up my Zeal after that team fight and getting a couple assists. As we go after the Janna at this point, we do contemplate Dragon, and we actually don't go get it, but it is actually rather late, and I missed the 20-minute items, so let's do this. We have Katarina. Here, let's put it right over here by Dragon. Or not. Let's back to mid minions. Now, we have it as such. Katarina with a Doran's, a Hextech gun or Hextech revolver, never bothering to upgrade it, and just pretty much damage items. Karthus did ulti there, picking up a double kill on the Cho'Gath. Fiora getting shut down. Whoa, Fiora getting shut down. Me do one-on-oneing this Irelia, realizing that her He-10 style gets her way too much, and I couldn't make it away. Even with my Warden's Mail, she had her, I know she had some slow. She had her Trinity Force, so I was pretty much not able to move from that point. Anyway, let's finish these builds. Hecarim picking up what looks like an Infinity Edge soon. He's going pure AD, no AP, which is quite interesting. Fiora is going very, very strong, 15 kills. You can pretty much see her build and what's going to happen. Cho'Gath, Rod of Ages, Glacial Shroud, level 3 boots from a Guardian Angel, really tanky. Me with a Warden's Mail, picking up a Heart of Gold so I can build my Randuins, and also buying a pickaxe so I can go and I can get the Infinity Edge. Now we are having a small team fight over here. There is a Teemo, as the Fiora does try to go under, grab him, gets picked up. I realize it's too late, and we give an Irelia a double kill. Now, going back to builds, Karthus with an Archangel, seems like a little late. Yeah, Irelia is just rolling over everyone right now. Karthus doing pretty well, lower AP than our Katarina, who has 13 kills, so it's to be expected. Teemo, on a lower build scale than me, and I actually have, yeah, that's to be expected. I have more assist. Irelia picking up her Warmogs and being level 17, so that's always fun. There, Janna building a Rod of the Ages. Really late, mind you. If you're going to get a Rod of Ages as Janna, you want to get it before the 20-minute mark, because that means by the 30-minute mark it's going to be fully stacked and you're going to be ready. There's a small team fight actually happening down here. Me throw my Ashe in there, and it doesn't hit anyone. Although Fiora does pick up a triple kill going and popping her ultimate to get it. Shutting down Irelia and continuing to go. Now, I'm down here with the Irelia, or with the Fiora, and it is actually game over at this point. They do surrender. Quite a good game. Not much to really say. If you enjoyed the content provided, leave a like. If you want to stay current, subscribe. Remember to look in the description at my ward idea, and I'll talk to you all later.